This is BIM Bites. Today, I'll be biting into the topic of aquaculture and sustainable seafood. Let's get started. Let's talk seafood. Humans of all races and backgrounds and cultures have harvested and consumed various types of seafood for thousands of years. Historically, indigenous peoples were among the first communities to have a diet that consisted mainly of seafood products. Seafood has continued to be a primary source of food for humans all over the world, causing a spike in demand in the United States and global markets. However, as many of us know, our planet and the species that live within have suffered majorly due to impacts like climate change, sea level rise, overharvesting, and habitat decline. With these ecological changes, our wild fisheries resource has dramatically been impacted as species have become threatened and endangered as a result. This brings an issue for the seafood industry. Because as seafood consumption and demand have rapidly increased, our fluctuating wild seafood resource cannot support the billions of people around the world that rely on that seafood resource. Over the last few decades, the industry needed to find a more long-lasting and long-term solution that would be more sustainable, restore and preserve the declining wild populations, while also continuing to produce enough seafood products to keep up with the demands. Let's start with what even is aquaculture? To put it simply, aquaculture is the practice of breeding, raising, and harvesting of seafood. Basically, you can think of it as farming, but in the water and with marine organisms instead of crops and livestock. And aquaculture has become a rapidly growing industry, much like agriculture, and is being used not only for restoration of marine populations, but also for our commercial seafood industry as well. It's important to note that many sectors of aquaculture don't actually need land or tons of water to be effective. And because sustainability is the primary focus of the aquaculture industry, some operations have become zero waste facilities, making sure they are only helping their ecosystems become healthier instead of causing more environmental harm. Now that we know a little bit about aquaculture, the next big question is, why is it important and why should you care about it? Let me put it like this. In the United States, we import 84% of our seafood already, and about 20% of what we ship in comes from aquaculture. In the rest of the world, aquaculture produces almost 50% of the seafood that's consumed. So as you can see, whether you knew about aquaculture or not, it's directly connected to the seafood that you eat, whether that's in a restaurant, grocery store, or even sometimes the seafood market. Aquaculture continues to grow worldwide. Our oceans, seas, and freshwater systems hold huge potential to provide us with an increased amount of healthy and nutritious foods. This way of producing and harvesting seafood, by the way, is projected to be the only way to sustainably feed our ever-growing human population as early as 2030. All in all, it's super important to know where your food comes from and the way that it's being produced before it ends up on your dinner plate. Understanding aquaculture not only helps you understand the many locations our seafood resources come from, but also helps you learn another approach towards making our planet as sustainable as it can be now and for many decades to come. So thanks so much for watching this BIMS Bites on aquaculture and sustainable seafood. Again, my name is Imani Black, and I hope this gave you an opportunity to learn more about another exciting industry in marine sciences. But most importantly, I hope it got you a little more curious about how the seafood you eat is being produced and harvested before you eat it. If you have any questions or just want to learn more about aquaculture, please feel free to reach out to me on all social media platforms. Also, check out my nonprofit, Minorities in Aquaculture's social media platforms to learn more about how we're promoting aquaculture and sustainable seafood worldwide. Thanks.